Robertson finds De Hollander on the side. Back on the inside, finds McDonald. A general on the field here. Stability, patience here. Finds Robertson going up line again. Ooh, holsters that. That's good safe play from Robertson. Back to McDonald, back in the center. Takes time. Finds Murray. Finds Francis. Oh, and that's Vino with a quick grab. And Australia takes an early upwind score. And it's a turn of a free hold from the Blue Bottles. That is exactly the kind of open they were looking for in this game.
That was very clean offense. I loved how they moved the disc confidently into that wind and made a very calm, solid catch for the goal. Beautiful.
Absolutely. I think the Blue Bottles done well to just quickly get over those opening nerves. A few shots were taken nice and easily. We're going to have a look to Cole here now. He's on the field.
Guys, I think let's, for the Indians, pay particular attention to number 99, Shiva, a veteran of 5 world championships, despite the fact still under 24 years old. So a wealth of experience with Shiva, number 99. He's going to be the anchor of this team.
That's amazing. The veteran players here across some of these teams are going to prove an invaluable asset. A lot of these players are youth players at the top of their college or youth programs in their home countries, but international experience is absolutely a premium across these teams.
That's right. This is the first game of the tournament, obviously, and the first mixed game. The mixed division has 14 teams, divided into 2 pools of 7.
A huge pull from Thomas Della. Oh, and that's rolling out.
So we have India on offense, and we've got number 18, Darty, picking up and walking to the front of the end zone to get this offense going. She's in a tight corner, going into the wind. She made a very brave option for the dump, which got defended. It was a difficult throw.
That's a huge block from Caitlin Grange. That's amazing. Following on the first throw, Australia with a chance to capitalise here. Michael Lau with the disc. Finds Michael Vernon with a no-round break. Australia take a quick lead up 2-0. India initially struggling to get movement going up into that wind.
Yep.
Excellent tight match defense from Caitlin Grange, and Australia with a quick, efficient punish.
And so it's going to be difficult for India at the start of this game. I'm sure the nerves are very high, but we know that they're a highly athletic team, and they're going to get back into this game just as soon as they get settled and get a handle on that wind.
Yeah, I think they're having a good opportunity here going downwind to work with the wind here. It's a very difficult position to be bringing it in on that downwind cone with no movement and just looking for a static open. The defense has all the chance to set where they are. It's much easier to move the disc when they're in flow. So I think the Indians will be going down here looking for a nice offensive hold.
That's right.
Australia coming out on defense here. Sam Francois with a pull. The only representative of the Australian team who was represented at a under-24 level previously, 2 years ago with the Australian men's team, the Goannas. You see how far he can push this pull upwind. You see how much that's affecting the pulls here, but he's rolled that one in, that's good.
Okay, and India have picked up, nice swing. Looking for the options, getting this moving early. That's a very open throw. Looking pretty comfortable here. We've got a deep cut going. It's looked off, nice safe decision there. Nice under from number 18. This is Dati, and she's moved it to number 12, Ganesh.
And a pick's called. That's the double bicep, suns out, guns out symbol that you'll be seeing. It's a pick, is analogous to a screen or a shepherd of sorts, and mostly for safety reasons is not allowed in the game. So it's a quick reset and we're back at it.
Ganesh is looking for an option. He's got the up the line to number 7, Jagan. There's another call, and it looks like it was on the throw.
Call contact or call foul? So you're saying you're already through?
Yeah, okay.
Negative. Definitely 100% said the whole world 10 before you're through.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there's been discussion, and we'll go to Cole to get some insight.
Guys, just a quick report on the wind. It's very stiff down here. There's got to rip the spin on the disc. It's really blowing a gale down at ground level.
Yeah. And so that was an uncontested stall. So, Gus McDonald looks early. Oh, that's just asking a bit much of Abby Dawson. Look at the end.
India will be happy with that. They've got the disc back and their downwind option, which, again, like Cole says, with a very strong wind in any direction, you've got a challenge. Here, Indians have got to be careful not to put too much on these throws. They're going to be hard to catch and hard to chase down. We've got number 12 picking up, Ganesh. Confident.
No round. Good pressure, good.
Beautiful swing. Picked up nicely by number 7, Jagan.
Get it, Kirsty. Under. Get it.
And he's found Ganesh again and found number 8, Manipa, who's moving it back through Ganesh.
And that's another pick called.
Another pick.
That's all right. The players will reset into the positions they would have been if the pick hadn't occurred. And then we'll get back into play as soon as quickly.
Selvi, number 33, is making some good cuts out there with her very long hair assisting her. She doesn't seem to let it trouble her one bit. And we're back in play with Ganesh. Ganesh has found number 13 and back to number 7, Jagan. Ganesh on the disc again. He's gone for the big pop.
And that's an example of what the wind can do to these discs. There's a little bit of edge on that, which normally makes it slide in nicely to your player. However, it can be pushed down in the wind. And McDonald absolutely in the right place to deny a nice disc. Just asking a bit much of a receiver here. Australia now looking to go upwind again. With a chance to score. McDonald taking his time, going for a little leisurely stroll to pick up this disc. He'll walk it back in. The Blue Bottles arranging themselves in a diagonal stack. They'll want to get it out of this corner as soon as possible. It's a dangerous place to be. McDonald with the disc. Looks long. Finds Francis. Great play. Finds Tran in the center. Goes across to Francois. Francois looks long. Takes the easy one. Francis again. He's coming in hot to this game. He looks long. That's picked by the wind.
Beautiful D there from Sanjay. He read that so well. He was marking his player under and leaped up to collect that disc at the right moment. And now we've got India back on offense. Running through Manipa, back to Ganesh. Selvi making a great undercut again. Flipped off. Ganesh has another peek deep at Manipa. And again, the wind pushed that down trickily and there wasn't enough time for Manipa to run onto that.
Yeah, the wind is definitely going left to right across your screen, but there's also, it's angled a little bit. It's coming towards the camera. So it's really making it difficult for those long shots to come off. As we can see when we're going right to left, it's into the wind, they're sort of popping up a bit, allowing for a good defender in the right position to snatch that up. And going the other way, really hard to just sit it out there and leave it in the space so your receiver can run onto it. Australians looking for another opportunity here. McDonald with the disc. And he's just, it's a shame of that skill error there. Couldn't find Francis with the early inside break.
India have a great opportunity here just outside the end zone, about 10 metres out. Number 13, Sanjay, finds a very tall Manipa leaping to collect that safely with 2 hands. And he's done a sweet break to find Jagan, who has thrown a sweet goal, and India are on the board.
Faster bidding Abby Dawson, that is some tight defense. That's the kind of intensity and pressure that we're expecting at these levels. If these throws are even 10% off or there's a tiny window, these defenses are going to eat them up. These offenses have to be exactly on point or else they will be absolutely punished for it.
That's right. So both of these teams have been, they've been training hard since July of 2017. So I'm sure they've seen it all in their training sessions, but there's nothing quite like seeing a fresh team on the first day of a tournament. And it's really good to see these players getting into it. They don't look flustered. They look happy to be here and really getting stuck into this game.
Absolutely. I think that's a credit to the coaching staff. The Blue Bottles coaching staff, Max Howden, Anson Chun, Danny Alexander, and Chloe McDonald are doing an amazing job. Max Howden on the line right now, instructing his players about what the best offense is here, and they'll come out looking for a clean hold going downwind. Don't want to putting this one nice and easy, and they've definitely got the skills to be doing this one.
Game advisors keeping everyone on track with the keeping behind the line.
Deep. She was a power receiver for them. De Holland is in the area. Oh,
a lot of pressure there
playing
from the
tricks with
Indian
it.
team. Sanjay's picked up. Finds Jagan again. Moving through to Selby. So this zone is on again, and the Indians are being. They seem so comfortable with this that they must play a defense themselves because they look like they've seen it before. Just sent one a bit too far there. Got a bit impatient.
Yeah, looking to attack it with their throws was always going to be difficult in this wind. De Hollander picks it up, finds Francis open under. A lot of scrambling, a lot of chaos at the moment. Australians settling in. De Hollander finding Vano. Back to De Hollander on the sideline there. Oh, grips it and rips it. Finds McDonald out the other side. That's an amazing bit. That's an athletic effort there.
Absolutely.
It's not just going to work for them.
Looked like Krishna was ready to lay too if he was close enough, but disc went a bit far.
It's all right. It looks like there's an injury call on the field. Angus McDonald putting it all out there before. One of the other Australians with a bit of world experience was the captain of the Junior Ultimate Championships men's team 2 years ago, the Spirit winners. The captain of this team, Mark Wee, coming on to replace him, getting into the right position, and they're up and away. Australia setting into this zone defense again.
And India have found Jagan around that zone. Got Selvi. Just waiting for a safe option. She found one on the open side. Indians have been pushed to the sideline, but they're working back into the middle. A little fumble there, unfortunately, from Bhavya.
That's all right. Australia looking to convert on this one. They've had another good opportunities. Robertson with the disc here. She's an offensive general. Finds Francis. Amazing offensive player here. Finds Mark Wee, the captain, on the sideline. Looks off, takes patient option to Abby Dawson on the inside here. Bit rush to that one. Looking for a closing window there. Trying to find Francis, the big man. Australia on defense again.
Sanjay picks up. The zone's back on. The Indians are going to want to get that disc not stuck on the sideline. They seem pretty happy with that. They're not rushing it over here. Bhavya on the disc. Makes a nice break for a dump back to the sideline. We've got a couple of Indian players deep, waiting for their opportunity. And another unfortunate drop.
Bit of hesitation there. Francis looks big. He's got Dawson on the end. Oh, and that's a great grab. Australia with another quick upper and score and a punish there. That's what they're looking for. Australia, during that point, were playing what's commonly called a zone defense. Rather than marking individual players, they have put 4 defenders up around on the disc, put a lot of pressure on the thrower, and then spreading out their players further down the end. They've got the big boy De Hollander out the back guarding, looking for those deep shots. A number of defenders making it really hard and forcing the Indian team into a lot of short movement, close to the disc in a small space, generating a couple of turnovers as they were hoping to pop it through.
Yeah, that's right. The tactic's really paying off. They're making the Indians touch the disc a lot, which they seem fairly comfortable with, but it is increasing the number of turnover opportunities, which is going Australia's way.
Yeah, I think as the Indians are probably looking to break this zone using their throwing ability, using a few long shots, creative throws over the top. We've seen Jagan with a few nice, sharp, bladey throws dropping in. Those are real nice, but tend to be mucked up a bit by the wind today, and so I think this masterful play by the Australians to come out in this zone-type defense.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder what the head coach is saying to India at the moment. His name is Box. He's only 24. It's his 7th international tournament in a coaching role, and he's got 4 assistant coaches, which he's bringing up to develop into future head coaches.
Yes, and Australia looking for another downwind defensive point here. Michael out with a laser of a pull.
Flies off from the ground. Not sure if it was touched there. Got Ganesh picking up.
Australia setting this zone again. You can see there are 4 players close to the disc and 3 spaced out further away.
Okay, Ganesh is looking at his options. He's trapped pretty hard there. He makes a very nice outside in throw across the field all the way. India's progressing the disc through Manipa and looking pretty comfortable here again. Very confident. Ganesh knows what he wants, giving a little point. Beautiful throw to 55, Meena, one of the younger players on the team. Not one of the youngest, but it's her 3rd Worlds. She's generally a goal scorer, but it looks like she's supporting out in a handling role. They're trying to push that through the cup, got a turnover.
Suzuki in the right place there. Della going deep as Truong shot it. Oh, and he's read that well. That is an explicitly efficient punish from the Australians there. They're using the wind to their advantage, setting up that zone, forcing very difficult throws. Ganesh doing very well to find that big outside in flick across the front of the end zone to swing it. But the Indians getting trapped again and forcing a more difficult throw, and that one generating a turnover for the Australians.
The Australians, the Blue Bottles, they've really gone for that fast break. They look well practiced in that area. When the disc is down, they don't hesitate, they don't set up, they get the disc moving and they find the open players, which there generally are a lot when they've been playing a zone defense. And we'll just pop over to Cole now, back on the sideline.
That's definitely a great thing we focus on here. Pick those controllables. Just work yourself out of the pressure here. Get it done. Use the masterful coaching to your advantage.
It's 5-1 to Australia here. They're pulling into the wind.
De Hollander going again. Let's see if he can improve on his last effort. And that's a stunner.
And India making a little bit of ground with some short throws. And we've got a deep pop. Unfortunately, slightly misread by number 45, Rutvik. I think he was in the right spot. It got popped up a little bit at the last second. It is really hard to read the frisbee in this wind.
McDonald bringing up the disc again. Francis coming in as the initiating cutter for the Australians. And this time that inside break comes off. Francis finds Murray on the outside there. Finds Francois. Australian scrambling here. Well, that one pops into the air. Francis is there.
Oh, and Rutvik makes a huge
grab.
bid to try and do that.
Finds Dawson on the inside there. Looks wide, finds De Hollander. McDonald on the outside there. Australians holding a vertical stack as they get closer. And that's a big wide shot. Francois in the area.
Oh.
That's a tremendous defensive bid from Jagan.
Another massive bid from Jagan.
Francois did well to hold his position there and get that in. And that was quite athletic, but also very safe and considered play from Jagan.
That's
he was
right.
there, made a great bit of the disc, and nil contact.
Absolutely. That is exactly how we should be making bids in the end zone. Anywhere on the field, really. Safe, confident, and spirited.
Anything?
No, it's fine.
We didn't really talk about transition. That's okay. You know, like the brick mark transition. Like we're moving.
Thanks, Cole.
To talk about the square.
Yeah, so the score
Oh,
currently
yeah.
is
Well, it's only relevant down
5-1.
there.
Yeah.
We've got another timeout.
But they haven't really been stationary.
So,
in
you
front
know,
of the end zone, have they?
there's
It's
been
all
a-
pretty quick. But
There's been a lot of build up to this tournament. Anna Haynes, the tournament director, she was previously the CEO of Softball WA. She has been prepping for this for 9 months and 2 years, also known as 2 years and 9 months. There's 41 teams from 20 countries at the tournament, which involves 914 athletes across 3 divisions. And there are 102 volunteers making this all happen. And Anna said that they have been outstanding in the lead up, and I expect they'll continue to be just as good throughout the week.
Absolutely, this is truly like an enormous event. Everything that's come together has been a lot. I've been around for the past few days as all the setups been going, all the preparation, and it's amazing to see it finally all come together and result in, you know, what is truly an amazing showcase of international ultimate around the world. Australia coming out to what is truly a dominating performance thus far. After that score, bringing it to 6-1 into their way. India having used both of their timeouts in this half. So Australia really putting on the gas here, showing what they're made of. Really look like a well-oiled squad. You can see that there's particular offensive throwers looking for their initiating receivers. The McDonald to Francis connection is coming off quite well, and it's something that clearly they've drilled and worked on for a long time now.
That's right. I think if the Indians look to be a touch more patient with their offense, I don't think they're going to have a problem. They're just taking a few too many risky shots, but I don't think they need to do that. They look so comfortable with all of their throws. So
very difficult when these pulls keep landing and screaming out the back
That's
like
right.
that. It's a very difficult position to be starting from. Stop disc, the Australians locked down on match defense.
Okay, India's back on offense. Makes a forward throw from the front of the end zone. Just had a bit of a trip out in the field. Stop of play. Someone looks like they've hurt their head.
Yeah, it looked to be happening in the process of the cut. I think the Australian defender was Emma Hayes, was moving out into the lane.
You alright? Go ahead.
Moving out into the lane, trying to defend the space, and I think it was just a clip the back of the ankle and
Yeah.
might have banged the head in the ground. And safety is paramount here. Gotta look after
Stania
it.
comes off, and we've got number 20, Kalpana, coming on to replace her. Hopefully she'll be okay. Stania's just replicating the position that her teammate was in. Oh, sorry, Kalpana was replicating, and we're back in play. Another big swing. Needs to flatten that throw out. It's getting pushed down by the wind with an outside in on the back end there. Australia have the disc on their end zone line.
All right. That's an amazing lockdown defense on the dumps from the Australians as Truong brings up the disc here. It's being marked heavily by the defense here. Forces a tough throw, but Western Sydney's greatest athlete, Dennis Tran, just can't hold his hand around that one. So nice creative throw from Truong, but 'twas not to be today. India with another chance.
Sanjay picking up the disc. He's got the next difficult job, getting it off that hard line into the wind. Got Ganesh at the front of stack. Kenny just behind him. And managed to find Kenny. Kalpana made a cut, looked off, and there was a bid here.
Tran trying to make up for that drop 4, coming through with an impressive layout for that D. They'll be discussing whether or not that contact has affected the play here. Discussion will be whether or not if Dennis Tran came through with that defense. He's obviously hunting just that disc, but if he made contact with the Indian player during the bid or immediately after, that'll be a foul, and they're just discussing and seeing whether it occurred. Self-officiation one of the most unique and beautiful elements of the game. Resolved quickly here. Looked like that is an retracted foul here, so the defensive block will stand. Maiolo looking to pick up the disc here. Looking for an easy goal here. Tries to find Della, who's open in the front. That's an untimely drop.
Ganesh gets the disc back from where he'd hoped to carry on. And we've swung to the sideline. India looking good, progressing the disc gradually. We're on to Selby now, who threw away. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication there with the cutters.
Yeah, just a bit out of reach here. Showing some good movement initially, getting across the front of second swings into this aggressive wind. It's really picking up here. Truong with the disc. He's got Hayes going deep. Oh, takes the safe option, finds Maiolo around. Oh, and Della picking up the scraps. Finds Michael Lau on the inside here. Patience with the disc here. Oh, Della around for the bailout, and he's looked big again. It's got edge on that one. Oh, Dennis
what
Strand.
a catch!
What an athlete, what a grab.
That is a
Fool me
difficult
once,
catch.
shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Dennis Strand making up for it this time, getting the job done under pressure here. Australia extending their lead out to 7-1, and that's a timeout called by the Australians.
Yeah, thanks, Cole. Absolutely, they are strong in the Spirit area. I believe they also won Spirit at 2015 under-24s.
Yeah, that was the Indian team's first outing as an international team. They went to the under-24s, and since then they went to the World Junior Alternate Championships in Poland in 2017. Putting in a good showing there, and it's amazing to see the rise of this nation and the ultimate community with it to really come toe-to-toe and keep attending these tournaments and just gathering that international experience. Australia has had a long history of ultimate at a high level, and that sort of experience, going to national events and bringing it back, brings up the nation's community as a whole and can really develop players and, bring up the next generation, which is really what we're seeing here.
That's right, and Dan Rule, who's a long-standing ultimate player in Australia, been a national representative a number of times, along with Jess Mumford. They've been quite crucial in helping the Indian team to really establish itself, and they've spent a lot of time over in India coaching and doing a lot of administrative work as well to help the guys out, which I'm sure the whole team really value. Look at them here, looking absolutely stunning in their beautiful blue patterned shorts and sparkling white tops.
The pattern going from the shorts into the top, I'm all about it. That's a truly stunning design. Dan Rule, again, an amazing coach. Every time I've talked to him and worked with him, I feel like I'm just scratching the surface of a deep well of knowledge. So invaluable for any country in the world to be working with such an elite coach.
So, Australia coming out on D again. India picking up the disc.
De Hollander better every time. This one rolling up the guts.
Kishore. Back to Jagan. And we've got a deep strike, looked off. Another sensible decision. Still worked it out for the under. Shiva came under. Got a bit of a call here. Not sure what it is.
It's a foul call earlier in the play. That's all right, the players will discuss whether affected and whether or not the disc has to go back, because I think you've...
Blocking my way.
Yeah, so I'm standing there already though. That's okay. If that makes sense. So obviously I'm big and I can't move very fast.
Okay, did it affect this?
No. I might have. It's just contact. I'll keep that in mind. And I'll I'll try and get.
Got Liam Kelly there. It's the game advisor he's from the UK. He's quite experienced, very experienced game advisor.
Rob de
What's it coming in on?
promising to keep his bulk out of the way. Big truck like that can't really help it sometimes.
Shiva getting the disc back into play. There's a pick call.
It's sort of slowing down a bit here. It's getting a bit of bump and all those sorts of things, but it's something that I think the Indian offense is probably going to be looking to clean up and keep their momentum going. They do look best in flow.
Tisha in the open lane looking to clear out. Shiva manages to find Jagan, and a sweet cross-field slicing throw. And they have found a goal. India are on the board for the second time, and they look stoked about it. The whole team's rushing on to celebrate.
I think that's exactly what they were looking for. They were stabilizing, sort of stop the bleeding, as it were, and that was actually a really nice goal. Really, that late inside break opened up the field and allowed for an easy dish of a goal.
Yeah, it was really really well spotted little option there. Found Krishna in the end zone for his goal.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of play they're going to be looking for. They've looked for a whole bunch of sort of longer shots and really spicy throws, and it hasn't really paid off for them so far, but, you know, it looks like they've changed a bit, looking for a quick lateral movement, and that's generated a scoring opportunity like that one, and they've really been able to put that one in.
Yeah. After the game, I wonder if any of the players out there might go and get some refreshment from Emma and Tom's. They have a motto, look after yourself. They make juices and smoothies and milkshakes and all that sort of stuff, and they have no added sugar. So that's a popular item, I believe it will be anyway, in the kiosk up on the hill on this beautiful week in Perth.
Absolutely. Smoothies are delicious. I can't get enough.
So we've got a very nice pull there into the wind from India.
Beautiful sit. Australia going down here as Truong gathers up the disc, finds Maiolo. Nice and easy this time. Indian team coming down in the zone, changing up their defense is good. Back to Truong. Back to Lipari on the sideline. Looks a bit long. Oh! That's a D.
That's the D we've been looking for from Shiva. He's renowned for his athleticism. He read that so nicely, popped up, got a great big hand to that upward disc. So India on offense. An inside break to Rutvik. Rutvik finds Jashan. Jashan finds Shiva, and he's stuck it deep. Unfortunately, Pranav had cut under by the time it hit the end zone.
Della picked it up quickly, and he's got a lot of patience here. Oh, hammer over the top. Hits Lipari in the chest, but he can't get that one in. Maybe he wasn't expecting such a beautiful put. India with a chance here to put it on a short field upwind.
Shiva picking up and cut out to the middle from Jashan. Wonder if he'll look for one of his female teammates, who was just cut off, unfortunately, by Rutvik. I'm wanting the Indian team to look a little bit more to their women. I think they're getting a bit focused on the guys cutting because they're a little bit faster, so they're just sort of trying to stick their chests out, and it has just worked for them because Rutvik got a catch in the end zone. Although there's a discussion about whether he was in.
So Lipari right there is holding both of his hands extended pointing out of the field. He's signaling that the first point of contact after the catch was out of the field. Calling a play out. The players will have a look, have a chat, and think about it. Might ask for some additional perspectives, help them arrive at the right decision.
So, do you want to ask some of your other players for perspective, or are you coming straight to us?
It doesn't look like anyone has.
Okay. Is that he had towed the line before he had caught and then landed it.
Okay, Jashan, the captain, went over to get involved in the chat, and the game advisor, Linda Kudo from Canada, told the teams what she saw, and the toe was in. So that's a goal for India. India have got 3 on the board to Australia's 7.
That's important to know. The game advisor is just there to offer an additional perspective and is weighted the same as any other player. It's not binding at all.
Right.
It's just added part of the discussion, help the players arrive at probably the best resolution. And that's cool. The player has listened to the perspective, seen what's going on, and has retracted the call signal to go.
Yeah, and self-officiating, it's such a great thing in the sport of Ultimate. It's it has more consequences than just being a good sports person. It really can help you in your everyday life be a more balanced person, think of things from others' perspectives, and be honest. It's a fantastic element.
All right, that's a valuable up-and break for the Indian team. They'll be looking to get a quick block and put this one in going downwind here. The wind has settled just a little bit, but that's relative to the earlier gale that was blown. As you can see, these downwind pulls soaring into the end zone here.
Yeah, and hitting the ground and traveling a little bit.
Yes. Not rolling how McDonald expected it. He's fielded it here. He's back in his end zone. India's come down into zone defense. Oh, and he's hammering himself out of trouble. Looking to the biggest man he could find, but that wasn't enough.
Shiva's picking up, quick one. Gets his speedy legs going. That's nice little 1-2s from Shiva and Grutvik. Found number 6, Struthi. She's looking for an option here. She's found one in Shiva again. Shiva makes a big swing, and it's a swing into the end zone. Caught beautifully, safely, and the Indians have 4 points to Australia's 7.
That is 3 on the trot from India there. That is a real big pushback.
That is called a run.
They've narrowed this back to a 3-point difference here. That's really great effort from them. Shows you what a powerful pull can do. Dropping it into a difficult position like that, McDonald having a difficult time fielding that pull, seeing that zone defense come and collapse around him. 4 defenders around the disc. Didn't have a lot of options, so had to look for a risky speculative throw over the top for his big man, and just couldn't quite execute there. Indians with a quick and efficient punish, managing to squeeze it into that corner there for a goal.
Pull as well. You can never, ever, ever look off the value of a great pull. Australia right up against the back corner of the end zone there when they start at that point, and it really restricts the number of options that your handlers have got, and so in the end they went for the risky hammer and it didn't come off.
That's right, and in every game of Ultimate there's ebbs and flows. Momentum goes with one team and then another. We'll see what happens now. Will India be able to maintain this drive? They're looking pretty energetic coming out on D here.
All right, McDonald, this time going downwind. Still facing against the zone defense here. Not having to struggle as much with the conditions, we hope. Not got a lot of options. Floats one out to Francis. Out in a paddock there.
India have got their zone on.
Oh, Francis with another big hammer over the top.
Oh, and it's a big D from Shiva. Shiva has found his groove. He is looking to strike whenever there's an opportunity.
Running around like a bull in a china shop here, breaking things and getting blocks left, right, and center.
That's right. We've got Shiva picking up. Kenny just didn't manage to connect with that one.
DeHollider picks it up, grips it, and rips it.
Oh, that was a pinging disc.
Couldn't quite reel that one in the end zone.
Upwind, downwind, they're all difficult in this wind.
He's potentially too concerned about having his feet in the end zone for the goal, not quite securing the catch there. That's all right, the captain, Mark Wee, doing everything he can, putting on his line for the team.
So we've got in the stack Shushmita, Stania, who has popped out. Shushmita's popped out to try and make an early cut. Disc wasn't in yet. We've found Jagan, and there's a pick. There was a little bit of a scramble in the stack there. We've also got Harsha in the stack there, and at the back, Krishna.
A lot of picks here. It's going to be interesting to see the India team is going to be able to clean up their offense and keep the spacing wide and keep their flow going. I think I've noticed a few times that they're particularly looking to their male cutters who are dominating the play at the moment, getting a lot of movement, and that actually might be potentially causing a lot of picks.
Yeah.
Just sort of...
The game advisor was recommending that you can move to avoid picks, which just means that the offense can reset themselves slightly after a call to avoid a pick happening again.
Yeah, and this is much better. They're in a bit of flow here.
Well, we've got a deep cut from Shushmita, looked off. We've found
Bit stuck on the sideline here. It's a nice round break.
Break swing, and Indians are looking a little bit static or a bit unsure of when to cut. There's another call.
It's just another pick again. A lot of congestion here in these cutters here. I think it's going to be imperative for the Indian team to space out their cuts and get in a good structure to avoid this thing happening here. The Australians entitled to keep close and play tight defense.
That's right, India back on offense. We've got Shiva finds Krishna. Back to Shiva. It's wanting some options. They're playing with all their cutters downfield, no static dump. Oh, and a bit of a risky swing to the sideline. Just missed there. Indians turnover.
Looked like he first looked at that, tried to go something else, and then realized it wasn't there, came back to it, and by that time it was a little bit late. Australia spreading the field here. McDonald picking up on the sideline. He's got cutters free, but there's tight, big mark coming here. Finds Robertson around, goes back to Wee. Finds De Hollander on the inside. McDonald signaling for the disc. Finds Wee. Captain here bringing the patience and control. Oh, slots it through to Vinod.
Massive block!
That is a screamer out
humongous.
of nowhere.
He read that like he was in the library and leapt for that. Shiva again. And he's got the disc back. Got a deep cut from Stania. Jagan. Finds Shiva. Another deep cut from Stania. She wants that goal. And we've got a gentle cross-field throw to Krishna, who read that well. Toed it just in. That's big. The Indians are pumped now.
That's hype you can get about it. That's another one on the run. That's 7-5. The Australians' lead is rapidly evaporating here. They had a number of chances, but it is athletic defense, getting these high blocks, forcing the Australians to do things they're not really wanting to do, and they are unable to convert even on these downwinders. Indians putting a lot of pressure on this Australian offense. Australians potentially getting a bit comfortable, getting a bit relaxed in this game, not prepared for the explosiveness and the intensity that this Indian defense is bringing.
That's right. Let's hope the Australian team can find their true nature. The nickname for the Australian mixed team is the Blue Bottles, and a blue bottle is not a single animal, but a colonial organism. So it's both an individual and a colony. It can't survive alone, and right now I think that they need to look to each other, make sure they're not in their own individual heads, but using each other to get back into being a solid unit and take this back if they want to have a chance at stopping this Indian comeback.
Yeah, they've really put the pressure on here. The Australians, previously out to a comfortable lead, now really under the pump. They've got to convert on this upwind offense here, and that's going to be difficult.
Pranav has sped down that field.
Back to Truong. Indians playing his own defense here, giving the Australians some taste of their own medicine. Suzuki, back to Truong. Moving it quickly around here. Truong looks over the top. Oh, it's a nice scuba. Finds Maiolo easily enough. Della there on the sideline. Back to Maiolo. Back to Truong. Doing a lot of work here. Patience here. That's nice. Doing a bit of signaling. Finds Maiolo. Goes around to Della. Finds Suzuki around, but she can't quite reel that one in. Bit of a high grab. India with an opportunity here.
Darty's hands go up to tell the Indian team to calm. Keep it cool. Jashan picked up, sent a curly one to the deep spot, which was magically picked up by, I'm not sure, but I'll find out in a sec, but it was a humongous grab. It was trailing away from him. He leapt and caught that approximately 1.5 meters into the air. It was Pranav. It was Pranav who scored that goal, number 0. He sped down the field at the start of that point like he wanted it, and by golly, did he want it.
I believe that, and here we go, that's how we've gone. And the Australians are reeling. That is 5 points on the trot. It's now 7-6. Australia with just a slim 1-point lead. They've called a timeout to recollect themselves, find what's going wrong. They need to be patching these holes here. They have burnt all of their buffer. There are no timeouts left in this half. The Australians need to be converting now.
Yeah, the halftime will be at 8 if we don't reach time before that. So, yeah, I think both teams are going to be keen to get this half. What are you seeing down there on the sideline, Cole?
Jess Mumford, just after the game had begun and Australia looked really comfortable and the Indians were struggling to get any flow on offense. And she said, no, we're not stressed down here. We know we've just got to settle the nerves. We trust our game plan, and our game plan's going to be good enough to win. We're just going to wait it out and let the players' nerves settle down, and then you'll see what we're capable of. And wouldn't you know it, exactly 1 point later, the Indian team, it's like they've just pulled out their Superman suits. They've just become a completely different team. They've settled down. They've got incredible intensity on D, fantastic patience on O, and they can't make a mistake right now. They're absolutely on a roll. Incredible to watch.
Absolutely. I think you trust in your coaching staff and you will see what you can achieve, and we have seen it. I mean, coming in, Australia had a lot of a lead, looked like they were in control of this game, and I bet you they felt that as well. They thought they were in control of this game, felt comfortable, felt assertive, and, maybe just eased off the pedal a bit, really just sort of let off, and the Indians flat out like a lizard drinking, pushing this pace to the highest, and the Australians not ready for it, not ready, and here we are.
But look who is ready.
It's a 1 point game. Australians reeling. They've got to be converting here. They want to take this half 8-6, but let's see if they can put it in on this downwinder.
The Indian team are out on the line very quickly. They are ready. They don't want Australia to be talking too much before this next point. They want to keep their momentum, keep their spirit, keep their power. They are looking happy to be pulling. They're going to go out there and try and get a quick block, I imagine. We'll see if they come out with a man or zone. I'm thinking maybe a man with that sort of energy.
Yep, the Australians looking to hold this downwind offense here. Something that they were easily able to do, punish efficiently and put in these downwinders early in the game. That put them out to that extreme lead. They can reset, settle themselves and do that again. They'll look to be closing out this half strong.
Pullers come nearly to the brick mark, and I was wrong, they're setting up a zone.
Yeah, McDonald fielding the disc here as the wind's picking up again. Finds Murray, back to McDonald, finds Vino on the inside. Finds Murray with a casual grab, finds Robertson. Back to McDonald, back to Robertson, working through this zone. Oh, and that's a bit of pressure. Robertson unable to complete that short pass to Wee. Indy with an opportunity to go upwind here and level the game. Australia looking to work here, got to get a block early.
Selby's set the stack and disc is back in play. There's a call on the some kind of incident on the mark or a pick, I'm not sure.
Yep.
Contact on the mark.
It's uncontested.
Uncontested, that's all right. They'll get back to it. Just a bit of a bump, and that's the sort of physicality that we'd expect here. Tight play. These players want it.
And Shiva's stuck it deep. I'm not sure who he was looking for there, but it didn't come off.
McDonald fields early. Looked like that was a bailout for a high count. Finds Wee. He's got Francois deep. Oh, I bought that fake. Finds Murray. Goes wide. Finds Robertson here. Robertson back to Wee. Doing a lot of work here. Oh, patient, easy throws. Finds Vino. Back to McDonald on the side. He's got Francis on the far side deep. Finds Wee. Back to McDonald on the inside. Back to Robertson. Nice, calm, efficient work here. Wee again. Back to McDonald. Francois wide. Back to McDonald. Working this in Vino. This is what they needed here. McDonald just out the front here. Patience. Mark Wee almost asleep. He's so calm. Maybe actually asleep. But that's all right. The Australians have got a chance to get a block here. They need to lift this intensity. They need to be making it happen here.
Very classic place to have a turnover after pretty confident.
Signaling an injury here at the moment. Hands on head. Want to have a nap. A little bit injured.
This is Pranav. It's coming off with the injury.
Australians still are unable to convert on these downwinders. They've worked at 85, 90% of the field, 3 or 4 times on the pass points, but just unable to get that last pass in.
That's right. We've got Sanjay who's replaced Pranav. Just come on for him.
India with a long way to work this disc, but let's see how they go.
Okay, we've got Shiva on the disc. Got a 1-2. And finds Jagan.
Travel
Up
call.
the line
Not a
to...
stoppage, a reset, and that shot goes.
Beautiful. Put
oh,
up
and
there.
that's
It's
floating.
sitting up a bit.
Francois in the area.
We've got Krishna underneath trying to read that, but the disc is
And that one's sailing
faded
wide
out.
and out of the field.
It looked like, I think in a still wind, that would have been an absolute, like, easy goal right there, but...
Twas
wind.
not to be.
Yep.
Here we go. Australia with a chance again. McDonald picking up the disc. They're in the danger zone here. Turn here will be very costly. Give the Indians a very short field. McDonald's going to move that disc quickly and powerfully. He's got Wee. Calm to Murray. On the job. Finds McDonald again. Back to Wee. Taking his time. Finds Murray again. She's got Robertson gone. Takes the swing.
Oh, massive
Finds
bid there.
Francois. Past the bidding defender. Finds Vino on the sideline. Vino. Looks to Murray.
Good pressure from
Just a bit behind her. Couldn't really reel that one in.
Sanjay there. Forced that turn, I believe. Previously, that was Krishna's big layout D. And we've got a put into the end zone.
Shot
It's
goes up.
fading
That's
towards
sitting.
us. We've got
And that's collected
Shiva.
shots out the end zone.
That
And the
is a
Australians
goal
unable
for
to get a
Jagan.
block here.
India have brought it even. It's 7-all. I think we've got a game on our hands.
That is a 6-point run by the Indians. That is unbelievable. The Australians unable to capitalize on these blocks, moving the disc, but just simple execution errors. I think it's very possible Australians might be getting in their own heads here. The Indian team are hyped. They are up and about. They are moving around. This is where they want to be.
Yeah.
They are now in control of this game. The scorelines are even, but Australia hasn't scored since it was 7-1. It has been all India all the time since then.
That is right. I'm interested that we haven't seen much of the disc going through the Indian women at the moment. I would love that to change and for the Indians still to maintain their run here. Australia, I wonder what their coach is going to be thinking. I can see Max striding up and down the sideline. He's not busying himself with his IOU blog at the moment, but he's focusing on the blue bottles, which is good to see.
Exactly. Inside Out Ultimate, a great new news
That's
site
right.
for Asia-Oceanic Ultimate News. As the Australians looking to go upwind here, it's 7-7, so at this point we'll take half, and then we'll have a break after this, 7 minutes. And then we're back into the second half of the game. We'll see who can take over
Sanjay
here.
with the pull.
And that is a pie. It is sitting. Can't see any fishing wire, but you could fool me. Truong cleaning his hands. Ready to pick up the disc. The Indian zone is closing around here. Looks off Mayolo.
Got Mina in the
Finds
cup.
Michael Lau. Back to Truong. Controlling his offense here. Finds Lau again on the inside.
Ooh,
Nice
lovely.
placing one in there. Hits Maya Suzuki in the hands, but she can't reel that in. The co-captain just under a bit of pressure there, maybe thinking about the next throw.
Sanjay picks up, looks deep immediately, and the disc is dropped, but it was picked up by Shiva.
The Australian defense is scrambling here.
Shusmita pivoting, looking for an option, finds an option, and scores a goal. Look at that.
That's 8-7. The Indian
India's
team
taken the lead.
They've taken the lead. That's halftime. That's the pressure they wanted. Every time the Australians have made a simple execution error, the Indian team has punished them ruthlessly and efficiently here. Every time the Indian team has made an error here or has given the disc away, the Australian team has not been able to capitalize. They've moved it around, done a bunch of things, and swung it, but without gaining a lot. They haven't been able to capitalize on the opportunities that they've been given, whereas the Indian team has been ruthless and efficient. Cole's our man down on the field here.
I just want to say, I think we're seeing an international Frisbee superstar getting unveiled here. Number 99, Shiva. He can do anything. He can do everything. He's an incredible defensive threat. And then when he gets the disc, you never know what's going to happen next. He's got every throw in the book. He's got the creativity. He's got the vision. I just think this is, what we're seeing here is truly an incredible display. Number 99, Shiva on the Indian team. I am blown away.
I'm just looking at a replay of this point, and Shushmita's got the frisbee. She gets a little signal from one of her teammates. She decides to make that throw, but it was actually Shiva who decided to catch it. He intercepted there, was like, this is my frisbee. I'm taking this half right now. So we didn't really think, I believe, early in that first half that India would take the half, but they've gone and done it, and they are looking pretty happy about themselves. Over in the Australian camp, they're back out there looking at throwing again, having a few little discussions, the strat groups. The coaches are all huddled there trying to work out next steps. There's about six of them in there. Let's see if they can come up with a plan to take the game back.
Yeah, this is interesting. There's interesting the different attitudes here in the halftime. Different players are doing different things.
Oh, okay.
And they're looking at him. We're just looking back some replays here at the half, seeing what the Australian team are doing really well. Let's see if they can replicate this later in the game. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. We'll leave you with some music and replays here. And a quick message from our sponsor, SDA Travel. If you're thinking of traveling before or after this tournament, they're our official travel partner. Visit SDA Travel for some great deals. We're out.
Maybe we could take this somewhere else. Let's get out of here. Somewhere quiet, we can be alone and let ourselves go. Maybe I can show you something you ain't never tried, and we won't regret, we won't forget tonight. My player, my player tonight. My player, my player tonight. If you take my hand, I will lead the way. Round and round, here we go again, being led astray. You know that I want you. You are all I have, and we won't regret, we won't forget tonight. My player, my player tonight. My player, my player tonight.
I'm here with Maitri, my coach of the Indian team, and what a phenomenal performance in that half. Down 7-1, I think, and then you've gone on a 7-point run to take half. What happened? What was the change there?
So I think we're just kind of trying to pick up, and we have the crowd and the wind, and it's a new setup for us, and I think it just took a little time for us to kind of get on what we have worked on earlier and to get together. So, and I think it's happening now. So we're really, really happy, and we're just going to go with what we have now.
Absolutely. I think Indian Ultimate for me is a story about energy. When you guys get up and about, it's just an unstoppable force, and you really brought it in that half. What's going to be the message for the second half, do you think, for this team?
So for us, we're just going to try and maintain what we have now and just keep going from there and keep giving the 100% effort we've been giving in the last 6-7 points and just keep going till the end. Yeah.
Here we go, coming back for the second half. Let's see if the Indians can continue with this intensity against the Australians. Back to you guys in the booth.
Just have a shout out to
Amazing.
Smile,
I think the Australian team here is going to want to look out and be disciplined, be working on this one. I think they were playing through a bunch of their structures, but it looked like they sort of fell apart when they were a bit moving free-flowing and just getting a bit of execution error. So if they can bring back this discipline, this structured play that was working really well for them early in the game, that's going to make a huge difference here. They really need to be recollecting themselves here, and I think potentially looking for those big, aggressive goals that they were getting early in the half. They haven't really been effectively working against this Indian zone, but they were ruthlessly punishing the match defense from earlier.
Yeah, I think their minds have maybe not been focused on the finer details. They've been, when they get the disc in their hands, they're moving it, and then they're thinking about possibly their next move before they've executed their throws, which with this sort of strong wind, you've got to be concentrating on everyone, no matter how many times you've thrown that frisbee before. Just want to have a little shout out to Spudshed. They're a fresh food market, and I want to say thank you to the Gelati brothers. They've been donating fruit to the tournament. You can visit one of their stores in WA if you're around.
All right. Looks like the Blue Bottles have signalled for 4 women for this point. For this second half, the left-hand side of your screen will be selecting the gender, either 4 men or 4 women, as Thomas Della rips a pull. See if we can get NASA to track that one as it rolls out the back of the end zone and all the way up the hill. It's going to be a very difficult position for the Indian team to work it up for here. We've seen the Australians stymied a number of times from here, but the Indians are on a roll and they can get it done.
Datry is bringing the frisbee up. She's got a bit of a jog on. Looking for a quick dump. No options at the moment. She managed to find one. Fantastic. So there's a call. Pick call.
There's a lot of pressure coming down. A lot of pressure here. The Australian men's team has come down on the sideline and are yelling like the rabid dogs they are.
So I've got Jagan. Jagan's from Chennai. There's a few players from Chennai on the team, probably majority of the team. He's found Krishna from Surat.
Oh, that is a huge defensive block. How does she do it? Caitlin Grange with a huge layout block.
That was immense. Just what the Australians need right now.
Absolutely. That is the kind of effort that you want to see and bring. Mikey Truong with the disc here, facing down this Indian zone.
Selby on the mark.
Same position they've been in before. Truong looks over the top, finds Suzuki, the co-captain. Back to Grange. Ooh. Just past the outstretched Della here.
Yeah,
Goldfink is here on the line.
Guys, the wind's really picked up again. It's a very solid wind blowing from left to right on your screen, and super tough conditions to move the disc around.
Unfortunate turnover from India there. Bhavya to, not sure.
Coleman picking up the disc here. Gemma Coleman, number 24. Check her out on Facebook. Finds her Wollongong compatriot, Emma Haynes. Back to Coleman. She's looking strong with the disc here. Buying those fakes. Oh, and shoots long. Oh!
Massive ups
and that's
there.
An aggressive defense.
Did land on
That's good
the
physical
player.
play.
It's all sorted. Everyone's happy with that. That was a big block in the end zone.
Yeah. Coleman with not that many options. Australia employing an interesting defense here. For those playing at home, this is a 4-woman fem zone.
Bhavya's on the disc. Finds Datry. Looking very calm there. Back to Bhavya. Two of them are looking like a strong handling unit there. Datry from Bangalore finds Meena with a safe knee drop catch. also from Bangalore. Jagan.
Long shot comes up, Della's in the area.
Ooh.
Can't reel it in. Oh, and Della with a
massive
second
block.
effort block. And he looks like he's got Truong unguarded deep. This will be a contest. Oh, Truong with a brilliant read. Not his first rodeo. Oh, just through the outstretched arms of Vernon. Arms too long, gets a second shot. Finds Suzuki. Little bit of nerves there. Australia able to capitalize on that block from Della out the back.
Yeah, Krishna was well positioned there to make that catch, but he just didn't have the height on a very well-read Della.
He was there, he was in it, he had that first one, but you know, first time's the only option you get sometimes, and a big man like Della, best 2-kilometre time trial runner on the Australian contingent, will snatch that up if you give him the opportunity. And then, showing his effort both ways on the disc, slings it the other way to an absolutely unguarded Micah Truong in a paddock. And then Australia doing what they haven't done before, able to dink it around out the front of the end zone and then just put it in with a nice, calm goal.
Even
That's the
Stevens
kind of presence
now?
they're going to need if they're going to keep this scoreline in their favour.
That's right. Yeah, I was just saying we're even Stevens on the scoreboard, 8-all. The whole of the Indian team on to listen to the next line. This become a very popular practice amongst international and national teams. Get your whole team on, kneel down, hear the call, be there to support your team. It's not just the 7 on the line, it's the whole lot. That's another beautiful thing about Frisbee. You know, you don't have to be an endurance player. You go on for a short point, run your little heart out, get off. You're still part of the game, but you're on the sideline having a breather.
De Hollander with another outside in pull, and that's rolling out the sideline. I dare say that it's an intentional play by the Australian defence. This is not a good position for the Indians now.
Bavia with the disc.
Bell with an aggressive mark.
Finds Darty. Difficult catch. Doesn't
McDonald
complete
picks it up here. Australians looking to run and gun. It worked before. To Bell. He's got it here. Patience now. Finds Tran. Finds Dawson on the inside here. Looks for the inside flick.
Oh.
And that's a great D there. Tight closing window there.
It's an interesting bid from Sanjay. Pretty brave bid, I think, there, and he came off okay in the end, as did the offense player. And Bhavia moves the disc to Ganesh. Sanjay coming under.
Australians double covering these deep shots at the moment. Makes a lot of sense, and this wind is picking up here. And that's an untimely drop. Australia with a real short field to work here. About 15 metres or so. Closer than the brick mark. Gus McDonald testing the wind. It's still there. Looks at this break. He's got Dawson on the open side. He's got free players on the break side. Finds Tran under pressure. Very close defence there.
Yeah, Ganesh was keen to get into that. He reached around the player to try and get his hand on the disc, but I think he might have made a bit of contact.
And he recognises that, it's all good. That's an uncontested foul. The disc will stay with Dennis Tran, Western Sydney's greatest athlete here as he's on the sideline. Looking at Gus McDonald for the dump here, puts it in front of him. McDonald with a diving grab. Just in the corner here. Squeezes it to Dawson, and she's unable to make the grab in the tight space. Australia unable to squeeze it in that tight sideline there. They need to be spreading it and using the width of the field.
India were moving the disc a lot in the previous possession they had. Lots of short passes. Let's see how they go this time. Dashu with a big cross.
Goes up, and it's eaten up by McDonald. Australia not rushing the disc here, not looking for the run and gun. Francois looking to pick up here. Floats it out.
Oh.
It's just past the outstretched arms of the bidding Sophie Bell.
Nice effort. Sophie Bell from Geelong.
Australia getting the blocks, playing smart defence here, but unable to convert at opportunities. Let's see if they've got him in to get another one here.
Bhavia looks calm walking up to this Frisbee, so it gives her an option. Got Ganesh looking to look off that deep. Nice decision. Jagan, big swing to Jagan. Sanjay. streaking number 8 Manapa. Finds Datia. There's a call.
This will be a travel.
Travel call. And we'll just go to Cole, who's got something to say, down on the sideline.
Tactically, I'm noticing that the Australian women look like they've been instructed to run a poach triangle. So you'll notice the Australian women now are often stepping off their players a bit. And what's impressive is that the Indian women are making them pay for it. They are recognising that they're being poached. That means that their players not marking up on them directly. And now the Indian women, as you asked for it, Hussey, you're getting it. The Indian women are getting into the game.
I'm loving it. Oh.
And just forcing a shot there. I think that's what, as Cole was saying, that's how the Australian defenses work. We can see one male player there streaking D for India being covered by Sam. That's good. There's a little better of a position there than right on the cone there. As McDonald brings in the disc. Oh, finds Francois up that sideline. It's a nice move there. Nice patience here. Shoots a wild blade across the field. Is unable to connect with Dennis Tran.
Interesting option in this wind. We've got Datri finds Ganesh. India back in control. Manapa. Sanjay. Oh, cheeky inside crossfield. Finds Jagan. Ganesh. Datri. Ganesh. Datri's making a lot of runs here. She's really getting into this point. Her and Bhavya are having good link-ups. Sanjay.
India knocking on the door here.
Jagan. If they stay patient, they can work this in.
Australians have changed to a tight lockdown defense. That'll be a foul called on that card. It looks like as he was running, sort of may have tripped his defensive player. And that might have helped him get open. So they'll have a chat and reset to where they would have been had it not occurred.
Looks like it did affect the throw, so disc's gone back to Jagan.
Australians have transitioned to a one-on-one match
They stay
defense
patient.
here.
They can work this in.
Australians have changed to a tight lockdown defense. That'll be a foul called on that card. Looks like as he was running, sort of may have tripped his defensive player. That might help him get open. So they'll have a chat and reset to where they would have been had it not occurred.
Jagan finds Sanjay. Looks like it did affect the throw, so disc's gone back to trapped.
Australians have transitioned to a one-on-one match defense here. Player of the year using his size to
slices across,
hold his
finds the
space,
end zone,
extend
and
that
gets the
giant
deep.
arm, get a big piece of that disc.
And India are looking to set their zone again. They're feeling pretty happy about that. Comfortable with their zone. It is having an effect. The turns are coming, but will the Australian team feel more comfortable with it as the game goes on, as they get used to it? Should the Indian team change it up to keep their defense fresh? Keep the Australians guessing.
McDonald bringing up the disc here again. He's the general here. He's looking around, signaling to his player with his fakes, but he can't connect with Murray
Sanjay
there.
picks up and throws to Ganesh
And
for a
that's
quick goal.
And that's 9-8.
India back in the lead. Point for point here at the moment. That was a long point as well. We'll just
see, really making it hard for the Australians, really drawing down on their athleticism there. It's going to make it hard. Australians employing a number of defenses there, playing a poach zone with the women sort of playing off and the men playing matched on their players early on. Got a bit punished for that and collapsed into a standard match just outside of the end zone.
India have called a timeout. Seeing replay of this big spike celebration on that. That quick goal.
It's interesting here. The Indian team is all huddled together, getting excited about it. The Australian team looking to see what they can do, looking to see where they can change here. They absolutely have the athleticism, they have the skills. You know, they showed it early in this game that they can take over it and power through it, but something's got to change here.
Interesting that India have called the timeout here. I think they might want the Australians to think about the fact that the Indian team have just taken the lead again. Maybe talking about changing their defense, although it is definitely working.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like a sneaky timeout option to sort of just make them stew on it. I think it's likely that the Australians are trying to get fired up, trying to build that energy, trying to insert themselves back into this game. But, you know, India's called a timeout here, and suddenly they have to sit. You've got 75 seconds to just sit, stop, and then stew on what's going wrong, you know?
Yeah,
They've really got to find something here. Let's see if Coles knows what's going on.
Guys, down here on the ground, I'm seeing two different types of intensity. The Australians clearly having got away to that big lead, and then they've given it all up. Definitely there's a lot of intensity on the sideline, but some of it feels like frustration. So we've seen a few odd throws and a couple of kind of overly excited defensive bids and looks on the mark, where the Indians have got the excitement, but they've got control over it. So I think the Australians' challenge here is not to play better Frisbee, but simply get control of their emotions, get on top of it. You've got to be intense on D and then calm on O, and that's going to be their challenge for the rest of this game, is get themselves back in the lead and just remain calm when they need to.
That's right. The game of Ultimate is a hugely mental game, and a lot of teams are working on their mental strength these days. It's definitely been a big thing amongst the Australian teams the last few big campaigns. Anna Ragaki's been a great pusher of the mental strength process and training, and we're back in the game here. We've got India pulled and Australia back on O.
Truong to Mayola, back to Truong. Let's see if that training pays off for them as he shoots long. He's got Della out the end there. Oh, and that's a tremendous bid. He's come up, he's come strong. There's a bit of contact there, but Della recognises he was just beaten to the space there.
Shiva's really, you know, establishing his presence there. And straight back in. It doesn't make a difference to him whether he's just got a massive D. He's still going to be calm on O. He's confident, walking up to the line, gets the disc in. Franz Struthi.
Australians transitioning back to a regular match defense here. No
Big
punching
catch
going into the wind.
Yep, big catch from Rutvik. The noodle to Shiva.
And that's Lipari the rat sniffing out that block of cheese. And here we are, Australia going back down the other way.
Got Pranav back on the field, setting the mark in India's zone. They've stuck with the zone.
Stuck with the zone. I mean, it's working for them. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Truong goes to Mayolo, back to Truong. Bit of movement, but they are stuck on this sideline here.
Pranav is a big mark. He is standing off and stretching himself to his full capacity, which is quite sizable.
Coleman goes around to Mayolo, who finds Della for that goal.
They'll be happy with
She's
that.
managed to slice and dice away through that. Interesting to see that the Indian zone lineup composition had changed a bit. They've moved their bigger players away from being downfield and put them all around that zone. That 4 players around the disc had increased in size, but Mayolo, sneaky little handler that she is, manages to slot that through to Della for the goal. That's 9-9. Australia levels.
Most of the Indian team are from the south area of India, around Chennai. And then there's a few other players from up north, Surat, Auroville. And so they've had some camps in both areas. And the most recent training session they did was for 10 days over the Christmas period. That's commitment, and I think it's paying off right here, right now in this first game. Will this intensity be able to sustain for the whole tournament is what I'm wondering. I think it might do. If they can do a 10-day training camp, I think they can do a 6-day tournament.
I reckon so. I mean, train harder than you play. But look, if you come into the showcase game, you show up for your first game at Worlds, and you knock off the host nation, that'll ride you well for the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely it would.
Australians have bricked this pool, and the Indians are signalling that they'll take it from the brick mark.
Sanjay's walking up to the brick. He's got Bhavya as his dump against this zone. Takes a cheeky, slicey flick over the top. Jagan. Sanjay and Jagan 1-2ing it. Bhavya Bavia finds Jagan, but it was a fast, wind-driven throw that was fumbled.
Working in a tiny space like that, I think that's what the Australians are looking to do. Either force a difficult one over the top or force a lot of small shots and hope we get a fumble like that.
Everyone's ponytails are horizontal here. The wind really is strong.
Good day for a bun, I feel. As Mike Lau finds Lipari through the middle, goes wide to Vernon, finds Della on the sideline there. They're looking strong. Della goes over the top. Lipari just can't collect that one. He was right place, right time. Della hit him in the hands.
Australians are throwing some crisp, punchy throws that need some very firm catches.
Maybe 3 hands next time.
Perhaps. Bavia finds Jagan. And another slicer.
It's a laser across the top.
Driving forward here.
Australians have collected and reset the zone here.
Oh, curls that round and walks it in.
And that's a cheeky flick over the top, and then that's 10-9 India's way. They're leading by 1 point again. Calls our man down on the field.
What I'm seeing here is some incredible control of the disc in very difficult windy conditions. I'm not sure if you can tell on the coverage just how blustery it is here, but you have got to spin the disc at 1,000,000 revs per minute to keep any stability in it. And for the Indians to be able to put those flicks over the top and show the disc to the wind and yet still get them, right in the breadbasket of their receivers, I'm seriously impressed with the disc skills that are on display at the moment.
This is
quality stuff.
Skill City, isn't it? We've got and Selvi to make that catch. There was a long catch there, spiking down. I think we're just seeing a replay here. These are the throws Cole was talking about, showing the top of the Frisbee to the wind, which really forces it down, makes those catches very tricky. They're doing so well.
Yeah, the Australian defense of the zone that they're playing is really forcing the Indians to take more difficult shots. The idea of that is that either the Indians will be doing a lot of small dinky passes, dancing around like a cat on a hot tin roof in the middle of that zone, trying to find something in a small space, hoping for a turn there. Alternatively, look for a big shot, turnover, a wind-affected throw, but doesn't seem to be affecting the Indians there. They're pushing their way through it fine. This is the Australians who have been affected by a lot of skill errors lately as McDonald picks up the disc and faces down the zone again. Finds Robertson. Back to Murray. Flicks around to Abby Dawson. Takes her time here. Looks for a big shot across the top. Through the hands of McDonald. Back to the Indians again here.
Sanjay is on the disc. Finds Bavia. Shiva. Everyone knows his name by now. Finds Kenny. Stani has gone deep.
He looks that off.
Oh, it wasn't Stani, it was Struthy. I really want that to get hit soon.
Yeah, focusing on working in this small space and looking for those players there, and they've been a little bit punished for it. They haven't been looking to stretch the field, and Australians will be getting tight blocks in those areas here. As McDonald brings it up onto the sideline. He's got his man Francis going deep. Oh! Looks for Dawson, but that is cut off underneath.
That is another massive D from Shiva. Reads it well, comes underneath the static offensive player and makes a jump to flick that away. And we've got a big pump finding number 4, Shushmita. Massive catch there. Reads it beautifully. A little rest there for Shiva. He's maybe getting a bit tired. Just had a rest on his knees and makes a throw which was not difficult enough for Shushmita.
Abby Dawson again, off in a paddock down the end, but the Australians opting for a bit of calm. They've had a few turnovers on big shots here, but McDonald again, backing himself, coming against the zone, looks for a big shot, but just dropping short in front of Francis there.
Sanjay makes sure it's down. Now he's got the disc. Finds Shiva again. Indian field's getting spread quite deep. I feel like they might want to tighten that up to create a bit more space deep. I think that throw is within the reach.
And that's a high flick. McDonald in the area, but unable to reel that win in.
Oh, Sushmita, another difficult catch under pressure.
And they're signaling for a stoppage here. Looks like McDonald's gone down. He called an injury earlier in the game after a big bid, and this one's come again. It looks like might be something troubling him. He was given it a couple of calf stretches over on the sideline before. So it's looking like it's really pushing here, and he's working hard to stay in this game. The Australian team really relying on him to pick up the disc and be a general on the offense here. But if he's injured, he's going to have a much harder time of just getting it done. So Australian team has brung on Robert de Hollander to just a bit of an upgrade in size. Same lily white skin.
So we've got Sushmita back with the frisbee. Finds a dump. Kenny. Nice careful throw to Shiva. And then he strikes deep.
Australians with a gender mismatch here. Francis marking a female deep in the space here, and Vino doing a great job.
Shiva's got it up the line and looks to hit the end zone, but
De Hollander, an instant impact player, jumps on the field, gets a block straight away as we march it down the field. And now it's with Wee, as he looks over the top. De Hollander again in the middle.
lovely downward scuba.
Finds Dawson wide. Dawson back to De Hollander in the middle there. Back to Vino in the center here. Patience here. Go to Dawson. Looking for Wee out the back. Oh. And he runs that down. Weezy with the grab. All right, and the Australians managed to hold on. That's 10-10. After a number of blocks, a number of difficulties, they finally capitalized downfield.
Okay, we'll turn back to Cole, who's got an observation.
I've actually got some news. For those of you enjoying the action, stick around because we've just been told that the Great Britain versus Colombia women's game is going to be coming up next. So keep your eyes on the stream, and we're going to see some hot women's action coming up straight after this game.
Cancel all your plans and get your internet streaming. You do not want to miss that game.
Absolutely. This week will be a hotbed of high-quality Ultimate, the kind that you only see every 2 years when these young, amazing elite athletes come around. Indian team taking their time, but signaling 4 men at the moment here. Australia matching that. And finally, with a chance, the Australians back on defense here. They need to be taking a break here. So if the teams keep trading like this, then Australia will be just on the back foot, just 1 foot behind. So they need to take a break here and then put it in upwind if they want to be taking this game away.
There's plenty of time for a few more ebbs and flows from either team, both teams.
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens.
And at the end of the day, you do have to score to win. The rules of Ultimate mean that comebacks of unlimited length are available. You can never score and then lose the game. You're always in it.
India receiving the pull. Kishori lays it off to Ganesh.
Della coming through. Doesn't get that one.
Massive pressure. Jagan makes the safe catch. Finds Kishore. Ganesh working to get free like a handler pro. Solid throw to Shiva. Shiva finds a dump. Kishore back to Ganesh. Downfield, we've got some deep cuts going on.
Australians playing a tight match here. Indians working well. Waiting patiently for
Selvi
cuts,
made a big
finding
deep.
those resets around.
Jagan. Oh. So I'd say that Shiva's looking a little bit tired. He's been working hard. Maybe the adrenaline's wearing off a bit. He just dropped that, which is was down by his ankles, but a bit uncharacteristic.
Drawing picks it up, grips it, rips it, and it's just dropping short of the big man Vernon Deep. Australians really forcing these long shots. I mean, they're nearly getting there every time. It's not necessarily something strategically that they're doing wrong, but they're just not executing when it needs to happen. It's going to be interesting to see how the Indian team is going to work this downfield here. They've been playing a lot through a few key players, but let's see if this going to hold up across the length of the game as the Australian defense is going to be tightening and tightening.
Ganesh. Pressured catch by Kishore. Pressured catch by Dati. finds Selvi. Kishore. Ganesh. Everyone's working so hard out here at the moment.
Oh! Michael Vernon, the hometown hero, the WA boy, flies through for a screamer of a block. You could see that in his eyes. He saw that coming yesterday.
He could taste the tired legs of Shiva, I think, and he knew when to pounce, went for it hard.
Truong picking up the disc and he's on the sideline here. Opts for a nice, safe lefty, finds Stella. Back to Truong here. He's their offensive general here. Floats one over the top, finds Lipari. Lipari inside, Suzuki. Nice, patience from the captain. Goes wide, finds Hayes. Back to Della. Della, a big body and a big thrower. Looking for Truong in the cup, throws the hammer over the top. He's got Grange.
Oh.
Can't quite reel that one in. Oh, and she's grasping her leg. That's not what we want to see here. Is an injury called here.
Looked like she was in the right spot and wanted to make that leap, but perhaps pulled something there, or maybe a bit of cramp.
She's holding her head there. Hopefully she's okay. The Australians looking really good on that offense there, but just, again, getting close, getting a bit of red line fever. They want it real bad. Just potentially taking those shots. Della pulling his shirt up, hiding there.
Replay of
that one.
Replay of that big block here. Absolutely great out there.
That's one to keep in your photo album. Right home, tell your parents about that one. Kids and grandkids too, I would say.
So Liam Kelly, the game advisor, helping out with a bit of physical assistance there. Multi-skilled man.
They're going to want to move her off the field and continue play, but obviously athlete safety is the #1 priority here. If they think it would injure her or anything like that, then everybody's happy to wait. Game clock has been stopped. Game advisors doing best for everybody here.
One of the teams up on the hill watching the game has managed to kit themselves out with
I think you will have to say.
a lot of umbrellas, being very sun safe here, which is absolutely crucial in this harsh Australian sun, as we were mentioning before.
Absolutely, it's been beating down this afternoon, even on my man Cole down on the field here.
Guys, I'm here with Jess Mumford, and Jess, it's just phenomenal to see the Indians performing so well. What can you tell us about this team?
This team is incredible. This is a lot of these guys are the guys that came over to London in 2015, and they've come back this time, and they're raring to play. They've got more experience under their belt, and they're really giving it a go out there, putting on a show. It's really good to see, really exciting.
You're absolutely glowing. You're loving this, aren't you?
Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good game. That's what I hope to see today, so it's really nice to have it.
And the Indians just look like they're made to play Ultimate. They're just explosive animals. It's incredible to watch them.
Yeah, they are so good. They're a very athletic bunch, and it's super exciting. A lot of the things that they do you never expect to see, and then they just come out and do it again. It's great.
All right, well, good luck for the rest of the game, Jess, as we see a big one get punted. Back to you guys in the booth.
Ganesh has pumped that deep. Shiva's reading it. He's reading it. He's trying to find it, but the Australian defence was too good there.
Lipari sniffing out that block. He was there. They were reading it, watching that bobble in the wind, going up and down there. Managed to hold that body position, and it's one of the key skills in playing a defensive game in the air like theirs. Maintain your body position, hold your space without impacting the other player. If you can maintain that space, be where they need to be, they're not going to come through you because it's a non-contact sport. Lipari did that well, and he's rewarded his team with a disc here as Truong brings it up. Patience against the zone here. Slots it through to Della. Della's looking, he's got Vernon out the back. Back to Truong. Truong floats one high and around. Lipari there, but he's got time. On his own with the disc here. Floats a high one around. Della's there. Australians looking for a lot of high shots here. Oof. Lipari making Della look good. Just there on that sideline. Really popping it over the top here. That's a really risky game. This wind's getting blustery. A high throw like that's going to get eaten up. And they do it again.
Ripped out his lefty there.
Lipari, nice safe low one, finds Truong. Not gaining much yardage here, but possession's the name of the game. Truong looks off the big shot. Scuba over the top, finds Lipari. Lipari in the center, finds Della. Oh, beautiful shot, finds Vernon wide. Back to Truong. He's got Hayes deep. Doesn't elect to play it. Looking to play a control game here. Goes wide to Lipari. Got Suzuki, good control and patience. Truong finds Della, finds Suzuki. Suzuki looks for the crossfield. Vernon's in the area, and that's the score the Australians needed, going upwind. That'll put him ahead 11-10. That's going to be crucial.
Keyshaw on D there, just trying to pressure that goal, but didn't quite have the legs for that very powerful, punchy crossfield shot for the goal.
I think the Australians doing a great job there. Seem to have changed tack a little bit. They weren't looking for many shots there. Just sort of worked it around, over and back, especially Lipari, Truong. Della offering a bit of help, going sideways out the front of their end zone, backing their handlers behind that zone to just keep resetting it, keep moving it. Oh, and that is a beauty from Suzuki. Vernon doing a great job. Just read that, see the incoming defensive player, and take that there. Great safe play lanes as well. A big layout there would have been straight into Vernon's ribs and no good for anybody.
That was really a really beautifully controlled throw there from Suzuki. She knew exactly where she wanted to put it. She carefully poised herself and executed.
And that's what you expect from the captain of a national team.
Absolutely.
Truly a superstar.
We've reached the 100-minute point of the game, which is time cap.
Interesting here. So we'll wait for the game advisor's call on time cap there. It does look like Australians having a real rapid huddle here. That's full time has been called. So this point has already begun. The point begins when the previous point is scored. So we will be finishing this point, adding one to the highest score, and then playing to that.
Which makes this a very, very exciting time in this game.
Yeah, we're coming to a real tight here. So if India scores this point, then we'll be adding one. It will be a game to 12 with a universe point. Everything on the line for 1 point. If Australia scores, it'll be 12-10, game to 13. A little buffer, but you know, buffers haven't been good for Australians in the past of this game, so we'll see how they can keep going.
The disc will be with India. See if they've got that patience and those solid throws and catches that they've been displaying fairly consistently throughout this game to make this an even score.
See if the Australians can convert on this downwind defensive point here. Given their captain Mark Wee, world's representative, with that of a ripper. That's come down. That's exactly what they're looking for.
Stania picks up. Davia moves it.
Tennis chain with a bid. Nice
Krishna.
and clean. Didn't get it.
Oh, risky break dump there, but picked up well by Sanjay, who pumps it, finds Adi, who failed to make the catch.
And that's a really early shot. I think that's a great shot. Come really, really early. He knows it's going to sit in the wind. And will let his player have time to get there and all sorts of things.
Like the
Indians
confidence.
Scrambling to set up their zone here. Robertson picks up the disc. Finds Wee. Looks off Francis in the deep space. He's got patience there. Running out of time to make something happen.
Oh, India's zone really put the pressure on there and got the turn.
Drops it right between these two players. Maybe caught a bit of hesitation. Maybe wanted Robertson, thought about Tran.
15 metres out now on the sideline. Sanjay picks up. Straight to the end zone. And another drop.
Another drop. Look, you win some, you lose some. The Australians plagued by skill errors early in this game. The Indians having a tough time when it comes to pressure here.
I think Artie's too keen to get this disc that he's taking his mind off it.
Australians need to be backing their throwers and looking for good stuff to happen here. Robertson brings up the disc. It's a dangerous space here.
Oh, big block from Sanjay. India have got the disc right on the end zone now. Sanjay picks up. It's got a break option, looks it off. Chooses the easy throw to find Bhavya for the goal, but it's gone back for a pick call.
She was wide open, which often is an indication that someone has been picked. Especially, you can see that the Indians playing out of a vertical stack. A lot of players in a small area. Pickers Not unusual in that scenario there.
Now, see if Sanjay can keep his cool. Choose the best option, makes a big break. High release throw to Ardi, who dropped 2 and now has made a very solid high grab to even the score up to 11-all.
All right, in Australia here. Here they go. This is it. This is 11-all. If it's a game to 12, this is universe points all on the line here. What do you got for me, Cole?
I just think that point was such an indication of how Ultimate is a game of the last 1 or 2%. It's not good enough to be almost there. You've got to get it all the way into the end zone and secure that catch and score, because otherwise you haven't done it for your team. And yet, great to see that they've managed to hold their nerve and put enough pressure on the Aussies there to force this game to universe point. I think that's what everyone up in the commentary box wanted to see here in this first game, and certainly the fans at home. You've seen an absolute treat of a game to open up this championship. So I'm excited, and I have no idea what's going to happen in this final point.
My heart is racing and I'm not on the field. I wonder if many of the hearts out there are racing. I hope so, because they're going to need it. They're going to need everything they can on both teams to make this their game in the opening match of the World Under 24 Ultimate Championships.
Blue Bottles coming out here, looking to hold this up in offense. Haven't changed anything. Just put on their standard line. Coaching staff backing their players to get it done.
Huge pull there.
Truong fielding the disc. Goes up to Mayolo. Back to Truong. No change from the defense. Back to Mayolo as they're dishing it around. Patience is going to make it happen here. Truong goes to Suzuki wide. Goes to Lau. Patience with the disc here. The Australians keep working, they'll get this. Coleman, Suzuki. Back to Truong. Yeah. Quickly uncontested. Players going for the disc real quickly, and that sort of thing happens, but everybody recognises Truong had a firm grasp on that before it was knocked out. So uncontested strip, Truong disc, back in. There's a violation call. Looks like everybody is just too keen. We're getting going before the disc is checked in. And now we're back at it. Truong with the disc. Back to Suzuki. Goes wide to Mayolo. It's just over the head. India with a chance for the game here, just out the front door.
Kenny picks up. Little Scuba finds Juggin, who does the crossfield bingo throw. He has caught the goal, and India have won the opening game. Look at them, they're so happy.
And that's
Sheila
it.
with the goal.
That's
They
what's
have gone
happening here.
wild.
There's a number, like one of a series of like costly areas for the Australians. Slide overthrows, slide drops, and it's just come back to bite them in the end there. A regular shot, totally fine, just slightly over the head of Mayolo. She couldn't reel it in, and then we punished again.
Well, if that wasn't a showcase of Ultimate, if you didn't enjoy watching that game, you don't like Frisbee. That was absolutely incredible. I think everybody thought the Australians were the favourites coming in, and with a 7-1 lead, seemed that they had the game in the bag, and yet the Indians, they're just full of enthusiasm, excitement, and some incredible disc skills, and they're just amazing athletes, and they've taken the win. I'm absolutely gobsmacked and very excited.
Talk about book a smile. The smiles all round. They are going to be chuffed to the nines with that. What a game. There was nothing that game lacked, apart from a bit of still air.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see a little more consistency from the Australians, but, you know, that's all right. If you did the better team won on the day, the Indians took every single chance they had. They were ruthlessly efficient, and they punished every mistake the Australians had. The Australians, like, let it off. They didn't change what they were doing, really, which is good to have faith in your team, but I think they might have sort of gotten a lot of nerves into them. You know, the Indian team was coming in strong. The Indian team was unfazed and just kept coming and coming and coming. And after that huge comeback, the Indian team just had the Australians rattled. Those skill errors kept coming, and they just couldn't complete it under the pressure. So full credit to the Indian team to bringing that pressure, making the Australians pay for every mistake.
That's right. I expect that the other teams in the pool have been watching this game and will be making all sorts of notes on those players. There's Canada, Japan, New Zealand, Singapore and Malaysia, the rest of the teams in Pool B of the mixed division. I'm sure that the other pool has been watching too. The format of the division is that they play their two pools and then they go straight to quarterfinals and then semis.
Well, thank you for coming with us for this showcase game. Truly a roller coaster. I've had an amazing time. It's been an honor commentating with myself, Claire Hussey, my co-box commentator, and Cole Fink, our sideline man, presenting you this showcase of truly elite ultimates here at the World Under-24 Ultimate Championships in Perth, Western Australia. There is a whole week of this to become, and if that's any indication, I am excited. It's only going to get better from here. We've got a lot more streaming, a lot more games to come, and we'll see you soon.